Welcome to Aqualand. It's a picturesque coastal nation where the economy is built entirely on the ocean. The fisheries are thriving, the beaches are pristine, and tourism is the lifeblood of local communities. But Aqualand sits right on the edge of the Calm Strait. This is a massive international shipping passage, and it is incredibly crowded with heavy oil tankers moving between hemispheres day and night. Then, the worst-case scenario happens. A massive tanker collides with another vessel in the strait. In minutes, thousands of liters of crude oil spill directly into the sea, forming a toxic slick that heads straight for the coast. The crude oil washes ashore, smothering marine wildlife, coating coral reefs, and choking fragile coastal ecosystems that took centuries to grow. When that oil hits the water, the immediate ecological damage triggers a sudden, massive financial emergency for the entire nation. Right now, Aqualand exists in a dangerous legal vacuum. They have not signed any international oil pollution conventions, meaning they have no established framework to handle a crisis of this scale. With the oil approaching the beaches, the government has to act immediately. They are forced to empty their own treasuries, burning through public taxpayer money to fund emergency cleanup operations. To get that money back, Aqualand has to sue the shipowner. Without a clear liability agreement, the government enters a maze of international litigation, spending years in court trying to prove the owner was legally negligent. While the courts stall, local fishermen lose their livelihoods. Their boats are docked, the fishing grounds are ruined, and they are left waiting years for compensation that might never arrive. Because they lack an international legal net, the innocent victims and the taxpayers are forced to pay the massive price for the polluter's mistake. Let's rewind the clock for a moment and see how this exact scenario plays out in a completely different timeline. The Civil Liability Convention, or CLC, establishes strict liability. No proving negligence is needed. If a ship spills, the owner pays, bypassing the courthouse. To guarantee funds, the CLC mandates compulsory insurance. The insurer is legally required to pay, even if the company goes bankrupt. This immediate financial pipeline allows Aqualand to instantly deploy professional cleanup gear, skimming the oil before it ever touches the coastline. The CLC shifts the financial burden of the initial disaster response off the taxpayers and onto the polluter. But what if a catastrophic spill's cost completely dwarfs the CLC insurance limit? That is where the fund convention comes in. An international fund drops in to cover the remaining deficit, fully matching the massive cost of the disaster. This ensures local fishermen and businesses receive rapid, direct payments for lost income, keeping the local economy alive while the waters are restored. You can remember this entire legal framework with 4 letters: SIFE. Strict liability ensures the shipowner pays. Insurance is compulsory. The fund provides extra compensation, and the environment is protected. Together, these conventions guarantee that a coastal nation's recovery is never capped by a single corporation's bank account. The contrast is clear. On one side, you have a nation crippled by debt and trapped in years of stagnant litigation. On the other, you have immediate, fully funded recovery efforts that keep communities afloat. Beyond the financial safety net, these conventions signal a commitment to international standards, forcing shippers to prioritize safety when passing through a nation's waters. It all rests on one simple, undeniable principle: the polluter pays. Physical barriers and careful navigation cannot prevent every accident on the water. But this invisible legal shield ensures that when the worst does happen, a nation never faces the aftermath alone.